Hi, and welcome to another Average Joe Hockey Report. In this video, we're going to talk about the 5 teams with off seasons that have impressed me so far. Um, I just want to make 2 honorable mentions in to this list. My honorable mentions are Los Angeles Kings because of the addition of Victor Arvidsson and Alex Edler, which would have been a thin defense otherwise, and then the drafting of Brant Clark. But the reason why I didn't put Los Angeles there because I thought they sort of overpaid for Philip Deneau, who's got an AAV of 5.5 million, and I don't know if he's worth that much. So that's why I didn't put them in my top 5. And then my other honorable mention is the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now I'd want to put them in the top 5, but the problem is that Cap Friendly is once again confusing me because Cap Friendly says that they have a projected cap hit of 87 million. Well, I'm not crunching any exact numbers. I'm just gonna say 87. I'll just say 87.2 million, whatever. But then they said projected long-term injury reserve used is 5.7 million, which I'm guessing is mostly Brent Seawick's contract. I don't know. So I don't know. This is where I wish Cap Friendly would update itself and say, well, is Tampa Bay under the cap or no? So, anyways, with that being said, let's go to my number 5. Number 5, yeah, Buffalo Sabres. What the heck, eh? Buffalo's objective was to rebuild and hope to part ways with certain contracts or whatever. And yeah, they did so. They managed to find a trade partner for Rasmus Ristolainen, and yeah, they got the 14th overall pick in that trade, which they drafted Isaac Rosen. And Ristolainen's stats were trending downwards big time, so that's definitely a win for Buffalo. And then they managed to trade Sam Reinhart, which it didn't seem to be working too well out. They got a they got a first round pick in 2022, and prospect goalie of Devin Levi for Sam Reinhart. So I think both of those are gonna do. I think both of those acquisitions are gonna be good for Buffalo, because it's another first round pick for one, and two, Devin Levi is another good prospects goalie. I mean, they already have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, but having Devin Levi in the fold too, that's good. And then of course, drafting. And then of course, with the first overall pick, they picked Owen Power. So yeah. Um, One thing's for sure, I didn't. The only thing that would, the only thing that Buffalo would have liked, whatever, was to be able to trade Jack Eichel. And I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Buffalo letting Linus Ulmark go, but I don't know. They've got 2 goalies for cheap at the moment, Craig Anderson and Aaron Dell. So I don't know. It's not like Buffalo's gonna make too much noise as it is, so it's not the biggest deal. So yep, Buffalo looking to rebuild, and they've made some steps to rebuild, and I give them props for that. Number 4, another rebuilding team, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, with Columbus, the only thing with that I don't necessarily care for regarding Columbus is that I didn't necessarily care for the Cam Atkinson for Jakub Voracek trade. However, everything else has gone. I'd say everything else has gone well for them. They managed to re-sign Patrick Laine for one more season. See how that goes. Um, uh, they got their They traded. They, it's crazy. They traded Seth Jones away. Hold on a second. Where's that trade? Where's that Seth Jones trade? There it is. Blue Jackets trade Seth Jones, 2021 first round pick, and which ended up being quite low in the overall. 2022 sixth round pick to the Blackhawks for Adam Boqvist. I'm a big fan of Boqvist. I think he's going to be very good for them. A 2021 first round pick, which they used that pick to select Cole Sillinger. Where else? 2021 second round pick and a 2022 first round pick. So yeah, I feel like Columbus did really good in that trade. As it is, they ended up with 3 draft picks in the trade. So they selected Kent Johnson, Cole Sillinger, like I said before, and Carson Sulemans with a 25th round pick that was originally from the Leafs. And yeah. And then to add to it, Carolina decides, okay, we're going to give you Jake Bean, which Columbus says, okay, sure. So not only does Columbus, do a good job with their rebuild process, getting picks or whatever, but and dropping salary, I just like what they've done, with the 3 picks and then having Adam Boqvist and Jake Bean. And yeah, again, I don't necessarily care for trading Atkinson for Voracek, but everything else I've liked. Can't necessarily complain. All right, number 3, Winnipeg Jets. Reason why I like Winnipeg Jets is because I like how they've addressed the defense. The defense definitely needed to improve. Bringing in Brendan Dillon and Nate Schmidt, assuming we're going to see the Nate Schmidt that played in Vegas. Should definitely be a good move for the Jets. So yeah, they definitely improved on defense. They didn't lose Dylan DeMilo. To Seattle. He's still in the fold. So yeah, yeah. The only thing I don't necessarily like for regarding goaltending is their backup goaltending situation. But with how their defense looks and how they brought back Paul Stastny and whatnot, I actually like the Jets situation. Number 2, New Jersey Devils. New Jersey Devils, of course, made the biggest splash in the free agent frenzy, getting Dougie Hamilton. And I also like the addition of Jonathan Bernier. Yes. Not necessarily sure about trading Will Butcher, but it's looking like they'll rebound, I think, from that. Yeah. And then they also ended up with a couple of picks, I believe, in the draft, which they drafted Luke Hughes, who's another defenseman. So yeah, New Jersey's defense definitely looks good for the future. And New Jersey, I swear they had 2 picks. Yes, yeah, they had the 29th pick. They chose Chase Stillman. So yeah, New Jersey definitely looks like they're back on track after all those moves and whatnot. Now, basically with New Jersey, it's going to be a question of if they have the forwards up front to compete, but definitely the defense. I'm liking what's going on there. Oh, almost forgot this. When they traded for they made a trade to acquire Ryan Graves from Colorado. So, yeah, I'm really liking what's going on with the defense in New Jersey. Yes. And last but not least, number one, Detroit Red Wings. Everyone before this offseason saying, "Oh, Detroit's they're going to be great in the future." And I was like, "Well, okay, but I mean, what's their goaltending situation like?" What do? They go out and fleece Carolina and get Alex Delkovic. I'm thinking to myself, "Holy smokes. What?" And then to add to it, Detroit had two um, picks, which they chose Simon Edvinsson, and a bit of a surprise, but I mean, at this point, they could make this a surprise, and he had a good season with the Edmonton Oil Kings. Goaltender Sebastian Kosa. So now the future looks even better for Detroit, and it's even convinced me for that matter. And to add to it, um, even before the free agent frenzy, the Red Wings made a trade and acquired Nick Leddy. So Nick Leddy's gonna be another big piece for Detroit. And then even in the free agency frenzy, this could be an underrated signing. P.S. Suter. I thought P.S. Suter played pretty good for the Chicago Blackhawks last season, and could be a pretty big signing for the Red Wings for sure. So yep, there you have it. Those are my 5 teams that have impressed me so far in the off season. This video is based on opinion and may not have any implications on how these teams or whatever or players how they fare for next season or the future or whatever. So remember, if I'm wrong, don't belittle me, educate me. Take care, everyone, and follow my Instagram page, Average Joe Hockey Report, and my YouTube channel, Marty Tommy, in parentheses, Average Joe Hockey Report.